Coming up, NHS bosses warn not to ease up too soon as pressure mounts to end lockdown.
ITV Lunchtime News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good afternoon. NHS bosses have warned any easing of COVID restrictions should be some way off as hospitals continue to struggle. And their call for caution is not alone. Today, one of those advising the government on when to lift restrictions in England admitted doing so too early last year had caused problems. The Prime Minister is set to reveal his plans on Monday. Here's our political correspondent, Carl Dinham. Next, a judge in America has ruled that a civil case brought by the family of Harry Dunn should take place in the US. Anne Tsoukalos, the woman accused of killing Harry in a road crash in 2019, had applied for the case to be dismissed on the basis it should be heard in the UK. Well, Chloe Keedy is here now. Chloe, how significant is this news?
Well, I'd extradite her, but a judge there... Well, the next court hearing is scheduled for...
Yeah, OK, Chloe, thank you. The world's first study, which will deliberately expose volunteers to coronavirus to find out how little is needed to cause infection, will take place in the UK. Up to 9. Children's charity, the NSPCC, has revealed it has seen an increase of almost 2/3 in the number of people reporting concerns over parents' alcohol and drug abuse since the beginning of the pandemic. Still to come, But first, Ford has become the latest car maker to announce it's to go all electric. It says it will make the move that will cover all sales in Europe by 2030. The UK government has already announced that by then all cars sold here will have to be either electric or hybrid. Well, Stacey Foster is outside a Ford dealership in Northampton this lunchtime. Stacey, a big move from a company so synonymous with the combustion engine. Next, the former Dragon's Den star trying to encourage those from underrepresented groups to get into the tech sector. Piers, you're a tech entrepreneur. It's something that you clearly feel very... Now, Europe's most active volcano has given a spectacular show. Friends of a mountain rescue volunteer who fell 150 metres, suffering severe spinal injuries, say they've been overwhelmed as a fundraising effort approaches £500,000. Chris Lewis was on a call out to help campers breaching lockdown rules in the Lake District. The money will help pay for his recovery, rehab and his care. Faye Barker has the story. And finally, Elsa Larkins was 29 weeks pregnant with her daughter Florence when she became critically ill with COVID-19 and had to be admitted to ICU. Her baby was delivered early on the 5th of January by emergency C-section, and then she was placed in an induced coma. Oh, lovely baby Florence. And that is it. I'm back at 6:30 with the ITV Evening News. But for now, from everyone here on the Lunchtime team, bye-bye. Hello again. Now the main stories in London. More areas of Woking are set to face surge testing for the South African mutation of COVID-19, the government has announced. 3 teenagers have been arrested on suspicion of the murder of an 18-year-old who was stabbed near Parsons Green tube station. A 16-year-old anti-HS2 protester has left the network of tunnels near Euston Station after 22 days living underground. London's Barbican Centre is among 14 new Nightingale courts announced by the government to clear a backlog of more than 50,000 cases. Sports stars and celebrities have joined forces with the NHS to encourage more people to check for cancer symptoms during the pandemic. All right, weather now. Here's Sally. Well, let's take a look at what's coming up at 6 and we'll have Ron Kay is back with more on that at 6. For now, bye-bye. The Duke of Edinburgh has been admitted to hospital as a precaution. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30. The Duke of Edinburgh spent the night in hospital after being admitted as a precaution.
News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The Duke of Edinburgh is in hospital tonight on his doctor's advice after feeling unwell. Prince Philip, who turns 100 in June, was admitted to the King Edward VII Hospital in London yesterday evening as a precaution. In a statement this afternoon, Buckingham Palace said he is expected to stay there for a few days and is in good spirits, adding that the Duke is not being treated for any COVID-related illness. With the latest, here's our royal editor, Chris Shipp. On to the rest of the day's news, and Boris Johnson is championing a cautious and prudent approach to easing lockdown in a way he says that is irreversible. While speaking at a vaccination centre, he said the UK wants to be going one way based on the successful rollout of the COVID jab. Furthermore, he agreed with the experts who stressed that the relaxation of restrictions should be led by data, not dates. While coronavirus cases are declining but remain high. With 12,718 new cases reported today, that is down a quarter compared with last week. Newly recorded deaths stand at 738, again down by a quarter compared to a week ago. And nearly 16 million people have received the first dose of the vaccine. Our political correspondent Libby Vina has our reports. The United Nations is investigating after videos came to light showing the ruler of Dubai's daughter accusing her father of abduction. In the footage, Princess Latifah claims she's being detained after trying to flee the city in 2018. Now the UN is taking the matter up with the United Arab Emirates. Here, the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, has expressed concern about the secretly filmed footage, saying the UK will watch the matter closely. Paul Davies has the details. The BBC says it's giving people over the age of 75 more time to pay their licence fee due to the pandemic. Britain's top-selling car maker Ford is to go fully electric by 2030. The £16 billion drive to get more green cars on the road coincides with the UK ban on new petrol and diesel vehicles. Well, it follows a similar pledge by Jaguar Land Rover just days ago. But will Britain's sparse network of charging points be ready? Our consumer editor Chris Choi has more. Still to come on the ITV Evening News. But first, to a COVID patient who spent one of the longest periods in hospital of any other but survived against the odds. Jeff Wolfe was put into a coma after contracting the virus in March. The illness had caused a stroke and he spent months on a ventilator. After a very slow recovery, he returned home last month. But now everyday life is very different for the 74-year-old, as Sejal Carrier reports. The FA has charged referee Darren Drysdale with improper conduct after a confrontation with a player last night. Drysdale Next, the search for life on Mars is about to take a giant leap. NASA's most sophisticated rover yet will land on the red planet tomorrow after a 6-month journey through space. It is chock full of pioneering technology, including a super-light helicopter to help it look for ancient signs of life. It will also investigate the possibility for people to live and work on Mars. Robert Moore now from Cape Canaveral on NASA's latest mission. Still back on Earth and tennis, and Rafa Nadal's latest bid to make Grand Slam history ended in defeat at the Australian Open today. Finally tonight, a heartwarming story proving how great things can happen if you club together. It all started when Kids Planet, a group of 52 nurseries, found out that Chester Zoo was struggling for cash because of the pandemic. So hundreds of its youngsters raised £20,000 by walking, hopping or jumping in the annual Summer Stampede campaign. The money was enough to adopt nearly 250 animals. Well, Hannah Miller went to meet some of the children who took part and, of course, the animals they're helping. Brilliant. That is it. Nina is back with news at 10. But from all of us here on the Evening News team, bye-bye. Take care.